Hi, welcome to Richer Scale Modelling. This is the build for the Airfix Blackburn Buccaneer S2C. Scale is 1 to 72. Now in part 3 I'm going to be placing in the air intakes, and this is where all my problems really start. If you haven't watched the intro or the other parts, have a look at the intro at least, and then you'll understand what I'm going on about the mistakes. So this is where, as I said, it really starts from the air intakes. All the other little mistakes up to this point are nothing. They were usually fixed, and there was not a problem. But as you'll see in this video, I still really can't figure out where I went wrong, but I did go wrong. It was probably an obvious and stupid mistake to make, but I just can't see it. If you guys who are watching it do notice where I went wrong, feel free to let me know, because I'm intrigued to know how I was able to do this so badly. I'm still trying to get my head around it, where I went wrong. So I'm asking you guys to maybe help me out on it. So anyway, let's jump into this and see how it all went. So I'm going to begin with painting the infrastructure for the air intakes, and it's all mostly the one colour that is getting painted on here, and the colour is Umbro 196 light grey, and as I said, it's all over this colour. This is going to be the interior main colour. The inside of the air intake is Umbro 53 gunmetal, and of course the veins as well are going to be the same colour. So first of all, I'm fitting the bulkhead. Now the location points do run along it, which I put the part in, well, I thought I did, directly on them. These little side panels then go on next. The air intakes are two halves, and I'm just placing them all together now. You may notice that the framework is in the 196 colour, because that will be visible because the landing gear is down, and it's the same with the rear exhaust. That goes together as just two halves fitted. The exhaust then gets fitted to the bulkhead. After the point of the position of my camera, I didn't realise it was a bit poor on this build, so if you can just bear with it, hopefully it will be a little bit different during the build. Next, inserting the landing gear side panels into the bulkhead. There's a little location points for this to slip into, and I had to press these in quite tightly for them to line up. So far everything is looking all right, but it still goes wrong, and this is where I start having the main issues. These have to line up with the air intakes, but I cannot get them to line up. The bulkhead is stopping them from lining up. You can see the gaps there, and it just did not go. I don't know why that was. I just can't figure out why it didn't fit. As I said in the intro, the mistakes were all mine, I presume, but I definitely have done something wrong, and I can't figure it out. They just don't fit. I mean, I took things apart and reset them to see if I can get them to fit, but you can clearly see there it's just not working. I have obviously done something, but I don't know what. So you can see that the two gaps are on there, which are very unsightly, and the part has to be pushed down in such a way for it to line up. So in the end, the only way I was able to get them to line up was put them on under some severe heavy clamps to get it all to line up. And at this stage I thought, okay, then I've done it. It was a bit of work, but I have got them all lined up. And I wasn't joking about clamps. You can see how many clamps I've got all under here just to try and get it in position. I left this overnight so that it would dry, so I'm just taking off the clamps now. So now it looks to me that everything is in position. It all lines up with the exhaust lines up with the manifold. The connected part inside the landing gear area is lined up. So it looked fine. So now I'm going to be going on to painting, and I'm using the 53 gunmetal from Humbrol once more, and this is the inside of the air intakes, well, inside the landing gear bay that I'm just painted in. Before I close up the fuselage, there's a couple of little drill holes I have to make, and these are for aerofoils later on down the build. And painting the open areas with 196 light grey by Humbrol. So that's all done. Now it's time to close up, and actually the fuselage closed up beautifully. There was no drama whatsoever. I was quite glad of that after the air intakes and the amount of pressure I had to put on them. So at this point I'm thinking, well, I've got everything done right now. It was a bit strange with the air intakes, the amount of pressure I had to put them under, but I assumed that I had done it correctly because the fuselage closed up beautifully. Now I'm just putting on these clamps just so that I'm not holding it for the few minutes. It's just so it doesn't slip apart, but it doesn't really need them. I'm just going over the sprues now to paint most things in it, and I'm using 87 steel grey, 53 gunmetal, and then going on to 96 light grey. And these are the three main colours I'm using just to paint all the little bits and pieces on the sprue, the very small parts that are more suited to painting on the sprue. Because I'm having it with the wings folded, I have to put these brackets in. Now obviously you won't be putting these in if you're having it as a fixed wing. But these brackets just fit in between the upper and lower parts of the fuselage wing root. Now I'm having the air brake open on the tail, so I have to put in this little bulkhead here before I close up the tail. And once that's on, I can easily close up the tail, and then the tail will be ready to go on. And as I'm putting the tail on, this is where I shall end this video. The next part 4, is a lot. There's mostly going to be dealing with filling and sanding. I'll go into that a bit more. So as you can see there, I'm just placing on the tail now. Again, like the main fuselage, this went on perfectly. So if you haven't subscribed already, why don't you do so? Just hit that notification bell and you'll be notified of all my builds. Hit that like button and leave a comment. And don't forget to share the video. But for now, thank you all very much for watching. Bye bye.